And on to the second story that we're doing on the NewsHour Agenda this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, on the eve of Independence Day, I'm joined by two U.S. lawmakers who are part of a U.S. delegation that will be attending the Independence Day celebrations tomorrow at the Red Fort. With me are U.S. Congressman Khanna and Shri Thanedar. Now, this delegation is also scheduled to meet President Draupadi.
To the joint session of United States Congress. And Mr. Modi ji spoke so well. And his speech was very well received in the United States Congress. And he got more standing ovations, not just from the Democrats, but also from the Republicans. So he got bipartisan standing ovation for his speech. And immediately after his speech, I have seen a lot of Congress members approach me, talk to me about what a great leader he is, and they want to focus on a stronger relationship with India.
Right, and Congressman Khanna, you're the head of this particular delegation that's visiting India. How do you look at the India-US ties?
Well, I want to make sure that our defense ties strengthen. We were with the Indian Navy at the Western Naval Command, seeing the extraordinary joint exercises with the American Navy. I'm going to go back on the Armed Services Committee and talk about how we need to continue to improve and strengthen that partnership. I want to make sure that we're continuing to make sure that India has access to critical defense technology to strengthen our partnership, just like allies like Japan and Israel. And I want to make sure that India and America continue to have economic cooperation. India buying 200 planes from Boeing is creating a tremendous amount of jobs in America. That's a good thing.
But Congressman Khanna, with the increasing India-US ties, are we looking at also combined efforts to protect the Indo-Pacific from China?
Well, the U.S. and India have shared strategic interests. We need to make sure that China does not invade Arunachal Pradesh. We need to make sure that China doesn't invade Taiwan. We need to make sure that the Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea have free lines for navigation. And so the U.S.-India have a shared strategic military interests.
And Congressman Thanedar, you had mentioned the drone agreement where the Indian Armed Forces have decided to acquire 31 MQ-9B high-altitude, long-endurance UAVs manufactured by General Atomics of the U.S. Although this is expected to be a long acquisition process, can you update when can India expect its first delivery of these drones?
Well, certainly, the drone agreement, also the GE's production of jet engines. I think those are certainly two key aspects in terms of a joint collaboration on defense. We also talked about space technology, medical technology. We've seen how COVID pandemic destabilized the world and how we came out of COVID relatively soon simply because of the innovations and the collaboration. And that kind of a collaboration needs to continue in all aspects of life, not just culturally, not just in education, but in defense and cyber technology, in medicine. And that's what this delegation is here to promote economic well-being of the two countries and therefore creating good-paying jobs in America and helping prosperity for the people of both countries.
One more question to you, Congressman Thanedar. You had strongly condemned the attacks at the Indian consulate in San Francisco last month. What action is the United States taking to prevent this from happening again?
Well, we have asked the Biden administration to ensure that full protection be provided to democratic organization institutions, so such attacks will not happen again. And we condemn any undemocratic attacks such as these, and people have a right to express their views and First Amendment rights, but violence and threatening people's lives is something that needs to be strongly condemned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, let me take you on to another aspect of your visit. Both of you have your roots, of course, here in India. But Congressman Khanna, how was your meeting with superstar Amitabh Bachchan earlier?
Well, it was a great honor. I think it's the first time Amitabh Bachchan has met with a congressional delegation. My phone was buzzing with texts from around America and around the world. He's a icon, a national icon for India. He represents the best of India. He spent almost an hour talking about AI, about technology, about film, and it was just an incredible honor. And his father, of course, was a great poet. So I do hope Mr. Bachchan will visit America. He's a great ambassador for India.
And Congressman Thanedar, yours is said to be a rags to riches story. You went to the U.S. at 24, primarily to escape financial hardship that your family faced in India. Reportedly, a home in Belgavi had no running water, often no electricity, and the entire family of 6 brothers and sisters and parents lived together in that one house. Have you been back home since then, and what are some of the key changes that you've seen on ground?
Well, I left India in 1979. My family was struggling then with financial difficulties, and I went to United States primarily to get education. I worked there. I started small businesses, created jobs in America. At the same time, did good for my family. And I often come to India. I wrote a book about my autobiography in Marathi that became a bestseller in Mumbai and Maharashtra. And I often come at least once a year, sometimes twice, and I'm really glad that I was able to achieve my dreams in the United States. And when I had a very successful business, I decided to sell that, give a lot of that money to my employees, and then enter politics, enter public service, so I can help so many people in the United States who live below poverty, so many people in the United States who don't have access to their American dream. I'm honored that the people of Detroit chose me, even though I do not look like them or speak like them, but they put their trust in me. And that's a tremendous responsibility, I feel, to serve the people of Michigan's 13th district, including the city of Detroit. And I'm working every day, thinking about them every waking hour, how I can improve the lives of the people that send me to Congress to serve them.
Right, and if I can come to you first, Congressman Rowe, what are your thoughts about Indian Americans and their contributions to the world and their hold on American politics? What do you make of all of this?
I think the Indian American community and the Indian diaspora is very respected around the world. We have contributed to technology. We have contributed to the advancement of medicine. We have contributed to communities and creating jobs. We have contributed to education. And because of that, Indian Americans, British Indians, have had the opportunity to enter public life. And that, my view is, we're only going to see more of that. And it's wonderful. I don't agree with everything of Prime Minister Sunak, but it was wonderful to see a British Indian ascend to that position.
And Shri Thanedar, your thoughts on the same?
Well, every vote is important. Every vote group is important. Every voter group is important. Indian Americans are becoming much more politically involved and active. And, Indian Americans have issues, economic prosperity, resolving the immigration system. Currently, the American immigration system is broken, and in terms of the green card, there is a long line of green card, people waiting for 5, 10, 15 years to get their green cards, and that is creating a lot of hardship. Technology-based companies are asking us to increase the H-1B visas. Technology-based companies are asking us to streamline that green card process, and that needs to be resolved. There is a lot that needs to be done to streamline that legal immigration system so businesses can prosper and more American jobs can be created and grow American economy at a faster rate.
Well, Congressman Khanna and Shri Thanedar, I'd like to thank both of you for joining us and explaining to us not just the purpose of your visit, but also to wish you a very happy Independence Day on occasion of your visit here to India. Thanks so much for joining us.